Where's he going with this shit? Cause tonight you belong to me. I'm from One West headquarters. Follow my captain's orders. Live in the land of pain and torture. No straw, but they want they mortar. Tell Trump, fuck borders. P.S. prepare for slaughter. Never take their sons and daughters. Never give them alls in return. Niggas never wanna learn till they laying in the urn. Babylon, Babylon, Babylon. You gots to burn, even if I gotta go with it. So fuck it, is you with it? Niggas never feel froggy, they just wanna rip it. If I see a bad bitch, then I gotta rip it. Your lip looking like the Red Sea when I split it. Tell me why that flow so vicious. Every time he switches, beat a nigga ass like mama did with switches. You niggas looking real, real gay. Where are the bitches? I mean, where are the sisters? Better stay away from witches. That's a brouhaha. Love me if she brew ya. White people he brew now. If you didn't know, then you do now. You belong to me. Yeah. Alright. This nigga's bonkers. From the same city as the Knickerbockers. Name ring bells from here to Yonkers or Nicaragua. You niggas too thirsty, you need some agua. I ain't talking Fina. When they kill my dog, I ain't hear shit from Peter. These niggas talk Kent, but they really mean FEMA. Captain cut his eye, got more stripes than Adidas. If you ain't a bad bitch, then get the fuck off my penis. 1-2 step with a meat tree drip. Keep my circle tighter than my meat tree is. If I don't fuck with you, you a piece of shit. When I dip, you dip, we dip, we dip. That's the type of shit that I sing to my bitch. No 6ix9ine, we don't sing no snitch. Gotta love that bass. Social distance, I love my space. Tell Karen, get the fuck out my face. We ain't never switching up on our race. You belong to me. It's you, baby. One more time. Gotta love that bass. Social distance, I love my space. Tell Karen, get the fuck out my face. We ain't never switching up on our race. Cause you belong to me. One more time for the ladies in the back, eh?
One West. Yeah. I'ma do it when you afraid to do it. I'ma say what you ain't gon' say. I'ma tell you what you need to hear. This life, they got us fucked up, man. Real fucked up. Look. Feel me one time. Look. Yo. I know struggle, I know pain. I know my people strung off with the dope to cope with the long days. I know this place called America. I know this place where they deal with us like homeland terrorists. I know this place got us fucked up. I know this place got us positioned so we never try to stand up. I know this place wanna see me sleep. And when it come to my people, they love to see a black man weep. But it's survival of the fittest. And when it comes to the Lord, best believe we gon' get it. Rise Israel, rise. Fuck the devil for his lies. Fuck the devil for his lies. Rise Israel, rise. Fuck the devil for his lies. Fuck the devil for his lives. Rise Israel, rise. Rise Israel, rise. Yeah, look, this ain't a place you wanna be, where you can surrender from a flea and still be dead in the streets. This white man, he play for keeps, and when it comes to his love, you should never wanna see. I want war, fuck peace. I want war, fuck peace. I want them dead in the streets. I want war, fuck peace. I want them dead in the streets. I want them dead in the streets. Yeah, so prepare them troops, because my king come through, he gon' show you what it do. Death to all you other nations, you had a hand in the equation for this hell I be facing. See, man, y'all think it's a game when we bring it to you like this, man. I gotta give you the truth. When they lie to you, you love the lies cause it tastes sweet. But it's truth bitter, and it hits you straight in the core, man. But you need it. One West shit. Now, I got the pleasure to introduce you to that Philly barbarian. Hey yo, Salakia cat, you had something to say?
Rise Israel. All this pain and it's hard to cope. Your situation stay the same, so it's hard to hope. You say you tired of moving cane, now they call you broke. There's new rules to the game, you ain't hardly know. So that's why you gotta play it smarter. I'd rather die on my feet as a man than a martyr. That's just a lesson for my daughters. Just know their father gave his life just to build you a fortress, so you would always be protected. Just know you living in a world where you gon' feel neglected. I tell you while you young, just so you'll expect it. And when that fake love come, you can reject it. But this is hectic, give me one more second. I just hope you make the same choices and never reckless. I don't want you losing your innocence prematurely. For you, I'll be judge, executioner, and the jury. And just know you worth all the diamonds and all the jewelry. Every single ruby, and never shine way that you be. That's why if they wanna hurt you, they gotta go through me. And even if I can't be by your side physically, I just want my baby girls to rise out this misery. That's why I be working and despise every enemy, cause they wanna separate our bond and our memory. So I fight for victory, and I fight for pain, and I fight so you don't have to ever do the same. Until I rise again.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Ever since it's a COVID-19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. Warm to the vaccine when the pot clean. Corporation need vaccine. We say vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Warm to the vaccine for the crack fiend. Warm to the vaccine for give vaccine. They afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fall up like napkin. We need a vaccine at the ghetto car. Our struggles are no similes and no metaphor. If we ghetto youth dream if we get a car, buy a house, try make it out, no get so far. Nuff no live so long we get vaccine. Ghetto people no want to no vaccine. If it's not a vaccine, for we stop cream and can live a better life and stop dream. For the youth them way in a jail house, we still no get charged, can't get no bail out. Me say vaccine, what for make no see road quarantine. Cause we want to do that. Vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. One to the vaccine for the crack fiend. One to the vaccine for give vaccine. We afraid them shoot our son when the cops see him. Hey, where the vaccine? One to the vaccine when the pot clean. One to the vaccine from the crime scene. Little ghetto youth fold up like napkin. We need a vaccine for real, cause some evil people them be will lead us. Food power next time for you no ease off. Me no trust Babylon, we need a vaccine. For them stop, deceive the poor and every workplace start. Give people more vaccine, me nah lie, we need the cure. For police stop, kick in we door. We need a vaccine for bust the aisle mill. Fi cut the piping, look how long I'll price drop, but JPS I give you some fuckery like Billy Walla who no fit. Go hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. UPK got the vaccine. Mr. General Yan have the vaccine. General Myman have the vaccine. Big Captain Mashak got the vaccine. Hey, Nayatap got the vaccine. Hey, Abada one got the vaccine. Hey, Akaya got the vaccine. Bakawar got the vaccine. Hey. Ever since it's a COVID-19, everybody does a talk about vaccine. One to the vaccine when the pot clean. Corporation need vaccine. Me say vaccine. Vaccine.
For homicide detectives, the clock starts ticking. The moment they are called, their chance of solving a murder is cut in half if they don't get a lead within the first 48 hours.
I do anything to keep my brother safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. You will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my daughter safe. You harm them, you interrogator's voice. They asking why I do it, I tell them I had no choice. Couldn't take a threat or a risk to my family, so throw the book at me, I take them charges happily. Ain't no need for no polygraphs or forensics. I put that fucker in a body bag, I'll admit it. Fuck a sentence or the jury that will convict me. They don't understand, it's my family, they represent me. So for them, I risk my freedom, roll the dice. I ain't got much more for you crackers, go ahead and give me life. You don't know what it's like for the people that you love. They ain't there to give salutes, they ain't there to give you hugs. The same that done pulled me from the dirt and from the mud, it's gone because of who? Y'all rather shed your blood. My brother's kids like my other kids. If you touch them, fuck around, get another bid, plus 10. Put me in the Supermax, I get super jacked, working out every day, canteen super stack, cool with that. Long as it mean my daughter's safe, my brother's winning, that's a chance I take. Still my fate, I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. I got wives that done gay, they all to stand beside me. Kids that can't see me fall, look at me proudly. Respected by men with honor up on their names. You harm one of them, I promise that you'll see pain. I'm one West train, made an oath to uphold it. Stood with my back against the wall, never folded. Grew up in the city where the love ain't brotherly. I ain't had too many friends, I ain't need the company. I'm my father's son, so I'm cool, just don't fuck with me. I say that you my homie, you're my brother, then you stuck with me. Never turn my back on mine, it's to the dirt. You cross them across that line, I end you first. But only make it worse, cause loyalty hard to find. Never think cause you out of sight, you out of mind. And I don't mind dying now, cause reincarnation got me coming back. Same scars in my heart aching. Be parlaying with killers from all places. Every last one of them for me a broad day shit. So what you think, I won't do it for them? Once they let me out the cell, shit, I do it again. It's for the family. I do anything to keep my brothers safe. I'm putting food on my daughter's plate. You fucking losers, y'all just can't relate. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. Find me on the first 48. I do anything to keep my people safe. You harm them, you will find me on the first 48.
Step it up. Yabashim Shabaka Thumb. Yeah, Akim, what's going on? How y'all feeling?
Good to go down here in Memphis.
Most High Christ, you all know, again, Saturday Night Live on the Black Watch, holding it down for Command and GEN.YAHANNA, hardest working man in Israel. I'll give him my hand for sure. Making things happen, making things move all the time, everywhere. You know what I mean? Because this kingdom for sure falling. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
Yeah, tonight we for sure gonna go into it a whole lot. La Yashala.
La Yashala.
Yeah, I mean. So to y'all know tonight on the inside, as usual, you always have Captain Nathak holding it down. You know what I mean? From the Carolinas, they'll give it up. You know what I mean? We got Captain Aquarium, you know what I mean? Hosting a special requirement like the American tribes, holding it down, you know what I mean? We got Captain Azanaya coming out from upstate New York, Syracuse, holding down that whole zone. That's for sure. We have Chief Sack G, Captain Sack of War, and God, rocking it down there in Memphis, you know what I mean? Spanking new school, busting out, you know what I mean? School look absolutely glorious, brother. You know what I mean? So for sure. And I know we have a whole flurry of stories, you know, that we have. Is a whole litany of stories, and stories developing as we speak. You know what I mean? So wherever you all want to start with it, I'm with it with you. Anybody have anything? Anyone that a preference with?
If I could, sir, if we could just start with, you know, how the Most High is plaguing this LGBTQ community. You know, you got two stories. We got the one about the monkeypox spreading, and there's some things I've been seeing on social media, sir, that I don't know if it's been verified, but there's some females coming up with the monkeypox, but then also you have that Brittney Griner situation over there in Russia, and I don't know, you know, if anyone is talking about how the oppressors, the enemies of America, are using this whole LGBT thing to really show the weakness, you know, of America's resolve. You know what I'm saying? There once was a time where, you know, over here, Esau, you know, in America, they would say, man, we don't negotiate with terrorists. And if you're an enemy to America, you know what I'm saying, there's no negotiation. We're going to go to war. We're going to fight. We're going to show you that we the roughest, toughest, and the meanest and the baddest. But this whole Brittney Griner situation, America is absolutely negotiating with the terrorists. Right. Because Joe Biden and the left have put themselves in a position where they have elevated this LGBTQ thing to being nigh unto, you know, being a superhero. If they were to stick with the old American philosophy of we don't negotiate with terrorists, but now you've made an enemy in your own soil of this LGBTQ community that you've given so much power to. But then if you bow down to the terrorists, if you bow down to Russia and make a deal, which is what we see in one of these stories, then now you're trading this woman who's a member of this LGBT community who really has no value other than that for a man who for Russians was a goddamn arms dealer who was making buku money selling guns and doing espionage for the Russians. And so in both of those stories, you get to see how the Most High is using this whole LGBTQ nonsense to play our oppressor. And for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we need to see that it is the Most High that is doing it, because he's trying to show us that there is a right and a wrong way to live life. And if you're living it wrong, the Most High is going to punish you. Salah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so like there is a Marine with Brittney Griner too that they're throwing with her. There's a Marine, a U.S. Marine, I believe. I don't know if he's a veteran or what, but they throw him in with a deal. And that Russian dude, they call him the merchant of debt.
Yeah.
They said that arms dealer right there. Oh boy, he has some numbers. He known for, you know what I mean, for selling arms to almost all the conflict you ever heard about. You know what I mean? He had a hand in it somehow, somewhere.
I think that there's the Marine here that they're talking about with Brittney Griner, right?
I believe I'm not too sure what he looks like, but I know, you know what I mean, there is somebody else with her, but they're more so shining light on her. Not him. They ain't really saying
he coming up in the convo.
Yes. But they ain't saying what he did and what you know what I mean, what the caught him across there doing, if it's spying or what.
Yeah, I believe they're trying to say he was involved in spying, but of course he wasn't part of the original argument.
No,
with Brittney Griner. It was just with her. But you know, it's great. Now, did they release this Marine? Anybody knows?
If I could, so they haven't released anyone. I believe that the negotiation, Russia is having active negotiations right now, where Russia's saying, listen, if y'all want us to let this, you know, basketball playing woman go, then y'all gonna have to release the arms dealer. And America, you know, there's some back and forth, and then Russia's like, listen, we'll throw in the Marine for y'all. And really what it is it's a situation where on the world stage, America is absolutely going to look weak.
Yeah.
Negotiating with terrorists, and you're giving Russia back a 007 spy gun smuggler in return for a 6'5" basketball playing woman.
It's like you trading a pawn for a knight. Yeah, if you're playing chess. Well,
yeah, that's basically what it is. That's basically what it is. And I know we were bringing this out from before that Putin done let America play itself into a trick bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's a lose-lose for America. If you go fight for her, of course, the good free Republican states is going to be like, why are you wasting, America's resources to bring her back? And if you don't, now you have a problem with the LGBTQ, and not just the LGBTQ, but the whole world is watching now. The whole world is aware of the shit. You know what I mean? Somebody look up Trevor Reed. I believe that's the name of one Marine who apparently Russia released in April. You know what I mean? Somebody just look up and see if that's true.
Okay, Salaki.
No swear.
Yeah. Yes. He served 3 years in a Russian prison before he was freed, sir, in a swap this past spring. Now, this other guy who they're discussing being freed with Brittney Griner, his name is Paul Whelan. Paul Whelan and Brittney Griner, and this guy is saying that because of his prisoner swap, he's optimistic that they will be able to bring, the Brittney Griner and this Paul Whelan cat home. And if I could, let's say, like you said, Cat, perfectly, Putin has played America into a trick bag because their fervent support of this whole LGBTQ thing has put them in a position where, like I said, if they don't go bring this Brittney Griner home, now they've created an enemy of this large group of people who they've given so much power to. But if they were to not, let's say they wanted to stand down on going to get her, she's on the front of Time magazine or People magazine, this on the cover, like she's goddamn the Mona Lisa or Harriet Tubman, when all she's done is play basketball and get locked up. And it's like there's so much pressure that LGBT, like the oppressor has created a monster, man. Like they've given these people absolute power to where anything they say or anything they do, the government has been so much supporting them that it's almost like you can't even back down off of the support now, because now you're going to this people who you've armed and given so much power to, they're now an enemy of the state.
Yeah.
Right. You think about the white nationalists who are just feel like they're disenfranchised and feel like they're losing their government. Well, imagine all these LGBTQ pride people who you empowered looking at the government and saying, oh, y'all don't care about us, y'all don't love us. I can only imagine what the terrorist attacks coming from that community would be like. We see what's going on with the white supremacists. I mean, it's ridiculous what they've done. It's a lot.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you're all looking at it also too, but they're trying to reinvent the term recession right now. You know what I mean? Like the country in a full out recession, but they're trying to reinvent it. Plus this whole Russia thing going off, like America, you know what I mean, as Captain Mashako was saying in the earlies, it's falling and it's falling quick. You know what I mean? And they really can't get a hold of, you know what I mean, of what's really taking place. You know what I mean? You should just take a look at the news with this whole recession, and you will not even think, you know what I mean, from what they're saying, that America is in a recession, but by the definition, they are in a recession, but they don't want to say it.
Yep.
They don't want to come bring it up.
You're absolutely right. I was reading one of them articles today. I'm not sure if it's on the list or if it was just on the internet, but they say, I think this is the second straight month, or the second quarter. The second quarter that America has experienced a decline in the GDP.
Yeah,
which is by textbook. This is what they teach in the schools, what a recession is. But now they really, as Captain Nathak saying, they're really trying to redefine recession, just like critical race theory. Like this oppressor, he's going to go down lying. You know what I mean? Like how people say you're gonna die fighting, he gonna die lying.
Yeah.
Like this country, he lost his country already, economically, socially, religiously. All that's left for him now is to go to war. But he's going to change the definition. He's going to change what is considered bad, so he can live in this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He gonna change he gonna move the goalposts.
Yeah.
He's gonna move the goalposts back a little bit more to say, nah, it ain't that bad. We not at the end zone yet.
Right.
There's still a little bit more to go. And this place is, absolutely, it's right there. It's on the brink of being Russia.
Yeah. Because it's crazy because you sending billions of dollars to Ukraine, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not catch-22. You're sending billions of dollars to Ukrainians who not even Americans. So what are you going to do with that one Brittney Griner? You're going to have to go. You got to do something about it. You know what I mean? Like they're in a spot. They're in a real tight spot. Russia have them wherever they want them to be, because they thought they have Russia entering like a serious recession. But what the IMF is saying, the leader of IMF is saying, is that they're doing pretty all right considering the sanctions that America put on them. Because this winter coming, they're saying Europe gonna have to brace yourself for this winter coming.
It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be a bad winter. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one of them Game of Thrones type winter. It's gonna be bad.
They was expecting Russia. What they was expecting was Russia to break.
Yeah.
Expecting Putin to break or the people to overthrow him. And that thing ain't happening. You know what I mean? Like he said in the beginning, this is an old war we fighting. Like this is Russia fighting Russia. With Ukraine. This is, is no different than, the states in the South threatening to secede from America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a similar situation where ain't nobody coming in and backing a state against the American government. You know what I mean? And that's what they do with Russia. So Russia ain't break. Russia full of resources, and they ain't a stranger to hard times.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Russia ain't live like how America lived. You know what I mean? The past few decades of Russia, I mean, has been turmoil, has been hard times, has been, bread lines. You know what I mean? So really, you just giving them more of forcing them to, to do what they used to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Sir. Salaki, sir. You mind showing the picture again?
Which one?
The
time one?
Right, sir. And this kind of, when you see that fight for freedom, once again they're playing Israel. They're playing black people again. Utilizing, because like you've been bringing out on countless shows how it's not the LGBTQ that's making this step or march or putting all their money together collectively. I'm only hearing black people, entertainers or on the social media or athletes come out and talk about, we should do something to get Brittney Griner. I'm not hearing the LGBT collectively come together and make this political stance and all their votes going to sway towards one side or what they need to do to the Russians. They're not sending no letters to Russia. Once again, they're using the fight and the plight of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, where we should be offended at it, to where, they didn't come and talk to us about Brittney Griner and what we want to do. They just automatically are using our fight, that fight for freedom. That's something that's Jake, always fighting for freedom. So I just wanted to point that out, how once again they manipulate and use us as a tool to get what they want politically, and we don't get anything in return of it. You know what I'm saying? Salaki, sir.
Yeah, no, you so right. Like by any means necessary, they use us like merchants. You know what I mean? Like merchants. It's absolutely crazy. But so it's confirmed that Russia has released one of them Marines in April.
Yeah, he was in the news. He was, I think Fox had him on. You know what I mean? He looked weird as can be upstairs, but you know what I mean? But they did let him go.
And if I could, sir, what y'all was speaking about it's going to be a long winter. There's another thing that came up in the news. Now, there's a lot that's going on in the world that America's media is not reporting. Like y'all speaking about how we're in a recession. The evidence of that is all around the earth right now with all the different protests. You had the protests in Sri Lanka. There was some protests in the Netherlands and Germany with farmers rising up against the government because of high taxes and things like that. That's not being spoken about here in the Western media. And it just goes into it goes into how much of a devil the oppressor is that the Bible speaks of, meaning he'll lie about everything. He'll all types of propaganda and misinformation to keep you from focusing on what's really important. Meanwhile, Russia and China just signed a deal to create a new currency.
Right.
Russia and China came together, bypassed the whole American Federal Reserve System. They got their own reserve currency that they're gonna come out with now.
Yep.
And now that's further drawing a line between these Western powers, these allies of America, and Russia and China and the other countries who are not going to bow down to America's nonsense. And it
If I could, Salakia. And that's a heavy point you bring up, because for months, I think since maybe sometime last year, China and Russia has been on the talks about that. They're bringing their resources together, and their economy is going to be based off of gold, copper, minerals. Actually, something tangible. And America is not liking that because it's making their fiat currency diminish.
Well, too. If I could, Saka, you just finish your point. I wanted to jump in right there with you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it just goes into the Bible, Jeremiah 51st chapter, where it talks about how the Most High was going to gather the nations against Babylon. And that's what we see taking place with America and these Western powers versus the rest of the world.
You're absolutely right. And okay, they've been trying that new currency for about 5 years now. That's what the Bitcoin was supposed to be. The Bitcoin was supposed to be the new currency of the world to come up against the petrodollar, because they've been trying to now gain more market control and not be under the foot of America. Because of course, as you already know, you cannot buy oil with any other currency.
Yeah.
To buy oil, you first had to change your Chinese money or your Ethiopian money or your Yugoslav money to US, and then take the US to buy the oil. And that was an agreement they signed, 4 decades ago, maybe. And because of that, America's money is always relevant and always staying afloat. And America has the ability to print currency ridiculous because of that. There's a demand for it. So they could sell. It's like the dollar is now a commodity like oil. You know what I mean? So they've been trying to create some sort of currency to cut America out, and that's what they're trying to do again. And if they don't understand the nature of the beast, he's going to wreck your country first. That's what he did with Russia. That's probably a great deal of the motive with Russia, because they're trying to get that go against that petrodollar. Now, if it is you still gonna go ahead and do it, he's just gonna kill you. He just gonna put you to death, because now you're threatening his plate. And if he can't eat, then the world has to die.
Yeah. That's right.
Salakia, sir.
That's
bring it up all this.
Salakia, go ahead. So, go ahead.
Salakia, sir. All the captains bringing out all this heavy information about the economies and all these things that's going on with Russia, China, and the world. And if this was a versus battle, America got Brittney Griner. like they talking about gold and copper and arms dealers and spies and everything. If this is a versus battle, that's Ray J right there. You gonna bring Brittney Griner up? Damn, America's looking pretty weak, pretty bad, man.
You remember
to rejoicing because it's Babylon falling, man. Brittney Griner is the like Captain Soccer War said, somebody who can dunk a basketball like that. For the merchant of death, they call the arms dealer that they want to switch with the merchant of death. Like he's selling nuclear missile rocket launchers, and she just hitting a free throw. So it just goes to show that Babylon is falling apart, man.
If I could, you remember, America did not want to acknowledge her in the beginning. You remember America was saying, stay quiet, WNBA. don't say nothing because really they don't want to have her as a bargaining chip. They don't want to have to move soldiers on behalf of her part. America really don't care about Brittney Griner. You know how much Americans, travel and get in trouble overseas? I mean, that's very, very normal. Americans, Canadians, they get in trouble overseas over stupid little laws on the border, just like that. But remember, because she's a celebrity, it's known. But there's many families that this thing happens to. Case in point, Otto Warmbier. Otto Warmbier was no celebrity, and he went down there in Korea and came back in a pine box. You understand? He came back in a pine box, and it was similar to how they was reluctant to go in there and try to negotiate or get him. Same way like with Brittney Griner. So, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Anything else you want to jump on? You got some more on this? If not, we could definitely jump. That recession story is good. You know what I mean? Kamala Harris trying to mock the LGBTQ, talking about her pronouns are she and her. I don't know if you all saw that.
No.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
I did not see that.
She trying to find the video for you now. She came out and she was in some meeting signing the Disabilities Act. And she came out there and said, "Yeah, I'm Kamala Harris, and my pronouns are she and her."
That's something.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if she's trolling or if she's trying to get LGBTQ support.
She need everything she could do in her corner, because they really, if Biden go, boy, I don't know, it might have uprising because they're not fitting to have Kamala Harris run this country.
If I could, sir, made me think of a post that I saw on the social media the other day. I believe Captain Shock, it was a memory of yours from back in 2017 where you had posted Donald Trump's tweets about not allowing transgenders in the military.
Right.
And the reasoning that Donald Trump had for that was sound. He was like, listen, we need our soldiers to be focused on the battle and focused on the fight. We don't have enough money or resources to be attending to them with these gender identity issues, you know what I'm saying? So we're not going to be allowing any transgenders in the military. It'll only make us weaker and take away from our resolve. And I know that there is a large portion of this American, these American homebred citizens that are sitting at home, and it's burning them up to think that we got to negotiate with Russia over this basketball woman. You mean to tell me we have to actually sit and talk about what our pronouns are? Like, I know how it vexes me being a righteous man in the truth, a servant of the Lord, and being a brother, being a black man in this country. I know how much it vexes me to see how much this evil is being perpetuated. I can only imagine what it feels to be an oppressor who thinks you're right. You're an oppressor who thinks you're right and wholesome and God bless America and apple pies and guns and 4th of July fireworks. You seeing this is what's becoming of your home, you know what I'm saying? Your children going to school and having to learn about gender pronouns and sexual reassignment surgery and all of that. And on top of that, there's a recession that the government is trying to ignore and they're not trying to talk about. The gas prices are rising. The electricity is up 17%. We are right here where the bubble is about to burst. It's like a volcano that's bubbling under the ground, and you're about to see Mount St. Helens explode, and all the fire is going to rain down. Like everything is bubbling, and the Lord is this close from letting loose all the terrorists.
You're so right. You're so absolutely right. Because for the life of me, I don't understand what it was that she was trying to achieve by this year. You know what I mean? Let me see. I try to pull the video. I think I found the video with her saying the thing, and like I said, it was one of those a disability act that she was hosting. It was an anniversary of it. She's hosting the goddamn thing, and she starts off like that. Now, is she trolling Is she trying to identify with the LGBT community? Who the hell knows? But there's something in here that, okay, it vexed me because this is a stab at that Ketanji Brown, who was that just put on the Supreme Court. All right, and we all listen closely.
Good afternoon. I want to welcome these leaders for coming in to have this very important discussion about some of the most pressing issues of our time. I am Kamala Harris. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Hold on. Y'all heard it, right?
I'm a woman.
She said, my pronouns are she and her, and I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So she knows what a woman is.
Yep.
She fully understands what a woman is, and she and her. But remember, Ketanji Brown couldn't answer that question.
Yeah.
You remember when they was grilling Ketanji Brown for the Supreme Court, that came up about what is female or what is a woman, and she could not answer the question. I don't know if you all remember. You all know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Clearly.
Exactly. And now they ask her over and over, and she's like, well, I can't identify that. But the vice president, the second most powerful person in the world on paper, if she knows that she is a woman, well, brother, we in a bad situation. We in a bad place, that she could go ahead and make those statements and use the pronouns and not have any backlash from anybody. You know what I mean? Except, of course, the Republicans is coming after her now. There's some more of them tweets and stuff that she's saying.
A woman sitting at the table wearing a blue suit.
Right, so they of course coming after her with all this stuff about introducing herself as pronouns at an official event. And of course, this is the other side. This is mostly them, Republicans coming out, and scathing her a little bit for it. But the fact that they know they're a woman and she's saying she's a woman is very convenient for whenever, they don't get what they want from whoever.
Yep.
I mean, like they don't get the momentum from the LGBTQ. They don't got the momentum from that whole community. The queers and transgenders and cisgenders and all the other third and fourth and fifth genders. And of course, now she can stand up and say, my pronouns are she and her, and I'm a woman and XYZ. Like you for sure know you're a woman, but when it's time for elections, you're not East Indian no more.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean?
So I think she got to throw it in because she's trying to reach for anything. If I don't know if you were aware, I think they said I saw it in USA Today, the newspaper today. It said 67% of all Black voters that voted Democrat, they completely done with Joe Biden and his cabinet.
Dang.
They done. You know what I'm saying? So I guess she's just trying to reach for anything.
Yeah.
Speaking some type of language to where she can latch on to the LGBTQ community for the vote, something, because their approval rate is crashing to the bottom of the ocean. It's a lot.
So wait, that's 67%?
67% of Black. Yes, sir. 67% of all Black voters. I think it was 85% Black voters voted for Joe Biden, and 67% right now, because last year they was all on it. They was in full support of Joe Biden, especially the year before. And they're saying now 67% of all Black voters are they done. They completely disapprove with the presidency.
That's crazy.
You know what, Captain? On top of that, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, they say that now he has even a greater chance because they talking about that he's going to run for president, and they saying that he has an even greater chance to even win an election because he's going to get backed by all them Republicans based off this. I don't know if you've been seeing what he's been doing lately in Florida. you know, passing laws against CRT and so on and so forth. There was a Nazi group that appeared twice in two events, and when the people asked him, well, why didn't you say anything about them Nazis? He didn't say anything against them. In fact, he even allowed them to stand outside of a Disney World and do some type of protest with no backlash from him. And because he did that, his approval rating moved up.
Yeah,
you can tell that.
Strong.
I don't know if you want to get this story with Biden building the like approving the construction of the U.S.-Mexico border.
Yeah,
to show you the part that he turning back, he going back to.
Yeah, we could definitely grab it. And this is the cat here, right?
Yeah,
right.
DeSantis. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're probably using him in case Trump can't come back.
Right. What the expectation is, if Trump can't come back, Trump is going to sanctify him.
Right.
And then they're going to back him up.
Trump going to do him like the Pope and say, "Come kiss the ring."
Yeah,
kiss the ring, and be my new cardinal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, they're making it easy for these Republicans to take back over. Not that we care, but they're making it so easy because they don't want to have no backbone, because all they really care about is that money.
Mm-hmm.
All they care about is that money. They overturned Roe v. Wade. They done murdered so many, babies. And of course, for these Republicans, they care about their babies. They want their nation. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They think the nation under threat. They think they have the replacement theory, or they're being replaced. They want their babies. Biden come the next week and veto, to have, you could still go get your abortion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they want that money. And because they want that money, they're letting their place fall to decay with all sorts of, social and moral decay. And it's showing up. And the Republicans, they're taking that moral high ground. Mm-hmm. And that moral high ground will win.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That's going to win. You see that video with the sister from Baltimore, the monkeypox all on her chin. Then she opened her mouth and pus is dripping from the top of the roof.
Oh my God!
Her tongue. She got the monkeypox all over her mouth and her chin. And there's another video. She opened her mouth and her tongue is full of sores. And then pus drips down like a waterfall, brother. And I'm like, that's the Democrats. That's what they want. They don't want to put an end to anything. They just want to let everything continue because they want money.
Yeah.
And they're saying that the monkeypox is hitting that community very, very hard.
It damn near exclusively. Damn near like they have a membership in Gold's Gym.
Yep.
I something if I could read it. Let me see if I could find it fast.
No sweat.
Yeah. Why you get a story. That's no I'm gonna read it fast.
We definitely living in them times where our king Yahushua done said that there would be wars and rumors of wars, plagues. We definitely did. And if you can't see that, if you're a Christian and still thinking about joining America, still thinking about being part of this society, a society that hate Black people, hate Latinos, hate Native Indians perpetually, then you want some extra stupid stuff for not seeing the reality of the life that we living in right now.
That's right. So I have this here, the Washington Post. This was I think July 28th, right? The head of the World Organization has suggested that men who have sex with men temporarily limit their number of sexual partners while monkeypox cases increase within their community. A shift in message from the Global Health Agency.
If y'all could stop, if y'all could, instead of being homo, just go home. just temporarily. Don't be homo, but go home. So this thing to stop.
Hit the pause button. You know what I mean? Pause. You know what I mean?
It's like a prepaid credit card.
Listen, the monkeypox gonna come up on the screen like Netflix. Are you still effing? Good night, Irene, boy.
Damn.
I watched the video, but it's I think it's a little too nasty. I couldn't even watch this shit. It must drop from that broad mouth. Yeah,
that's Isaiah when he talked about the swords in the first chapter.
Please, if you grab it, please, that'll work.
So, like, sir, if I could, that's why I thank the Most High for the truth.
Damn right.
We are truly living in a time. We are truly living in a time where, due to our oppressor and this whole political correctness, this climate of not being able to tell anybody the truth or being afraid of hurting someone's feelings, the World Health Organization has to tiptoe around stop with the gay sex. Like, if you don't want monkeypox, just not have sex for 6 months. Just stop it, please. If you don't want to die, if you don't want this horrible disease, just please zip it up, keep it in your pants, let the thing pass. But they can't even say that. They have to, and to address everybody, right? Like this whole monkeypox thing, they're addressing the whole entire sexually active earth right now, as if that's who the people who transmit this disease are. Just talk to these gay men. Hey, gay guys, just zip it up for 6 months. Stop having sex because you're threatening the earth. There's monkeypox that's only being transmitted through your nasty sex. Just stop it so more people won't have to die. But they can't say that because God forbid you offend these people or you say something that's too truthful or you would ostracize them by pointing out that they're the only ones that's contracting and passing the disease. So because we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and we don't want anybody to be offended, could you just please maybe limit the number of the people that you're having sex with and maybe that somehow makes a change? No. Yeah, homosexuals, the God of the earth is plaguing you. The creator of the heavens and earth is looking down and he sees what you're doing and he is highly disgusted. He's always been disgusted. Whatever you've been told in your religions, whatever you've been told in your feel-good groups is a lie. This is a plague that is coming from the creator and he is going to destroy you unless you change and repent and live life the way that he intended for you to live it. If not, you're going to continue to die. Anybody who involves themselves with you sexually is going to die. And it is going to continue to be a horrible plague. But those who serve the Lord and please him in righteousness and obedience have nothing to worry about. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your, enjoy your life. But they can't do that. They can't say that because they've created a society where the people are just too fragile to be told any truth.
Listen, they can't tell the LGBTQ community this because the money gonna stop flowing. Mm-hmm. You piss them off, they're gonna stop. They're gonna stop paying. They're gonna stop doing. They're gonna protest. Like they down near like their own little country now. Like look at this. This woman got the full monkeypox on the train.
Mm.
Yeah, I got that script. If I got, go ahead, Salaki.
Please.
Now, just one more thing. I feel, I pity these sisters for, who knows what they're enduring and what type of men they are involving themselves with to contract this monkeypox. Mm. This is an absolutely horribly disgusting, painful, traumatic looking disease. And if you're a woman and you've contracted this, then you must know that the men who you were involving yourself with are the basest, lowest, most vile men who are on the planet.
Like who's to say they're involving themselves with men? If it's a homosexual disease, it could definitely be woman on woman as well.
Yeah,
you understand? Like this girl whole lower part of her face. I ain't got to get even graphic for you to understand. But where was her mouth and lips at? Huh? Where was it at? In the bakery?
Mm-hmm. It was on the monkey.
Salakia. I mean the monkey.
Salakia, sir. Salakia, sir.
Salakia,
sir. Listen, I mean, the more like Captain Sakawara is saying, like, it was this whole push for the transgender. The past couple of years been nothing but transgender. They jumped on the stage and tackled Dave Chappelle. They going crazy. And the Most High just keeps sending everything. HIV, AIDS, It's everything. Hepatitis. Hepatitis. Like if you go to the doctor's office, it's a specific sign about hepatitis specifically for gay men.
Yeah.
And they keep pushing it, and now he hits you with the monkeypox. So it's like, is anything going to wake you up? Something, and if not, then the Lord don't care, then you just going to fall and die to it.
If I could too, and that takes a lot of loving from our God, because He done send prophets to warn our people, don't live that lifestyle, don't do this lifestyle. So you got to be a real loving father to say, okay, you don't want to listen to me, I'm gonna give you the belt now, and here's this, because you know why? Not that I don't love you, I love you so much that I need to give you this monkeypox, so that way you can realize I don't want you doing this. It's like with anything. I remember back some years ago, Commander GEN.YAHANNA said the Lord, because He loved Israel so much, that he makes stuff happen to us when we don't listen. That's why we're in the condition we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't listen. You know what I'm saying? When this is a time, Black people, Latinos, and Native Indians, this is definitely the time to start listening to the priests and prophets of the Most High in the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge. Because we've been doing this for 50 plus years. And if Christ don't come back, we'll do it for the next millennia and tell you to change, tell you to turn back to the Most High. If I could, Captain, can I read you this scripture for you to break down? Isaiah 1:5. It says, why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. You want to break that down, Captain?
Please, go ahead and bring it all down.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Lord is asking Black people, Latinos, and Native Indians, why are we going to continue to be stricken? You know what I'm saying? But we revolt against the Most High even more. So now, because we revolting even more, this is why you see that image of this sister. This is one of many things that the Lord will do to us out of love. You know what I'm saying?
In 12 days, in 12 days.
Look at that. And that's a short period of time. That's to let you know. That's to let you know, Captain, the Lord is not playing no games. So like I had to pause because you know where I was going to go with it. But Lord, go ahead.
Slacky, Captain Ash. 12 days ain't no short days with that on my face. But
in terms of how the Lord moving on you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, that's like 9 days later, that's 6 days later, and another 6 days later, that's like toma, and more toma. You know what I'm saying?
I remember too, like on the back of the LGBT community, you had the Roe versus Wade protests.
There you go.
They were screaming in the streets saying, you know, they're ready to kill their babies. They're ready to kill their babies. Even today in DC at camp, they had that Comic-Con shit. And some sister dressed up like a kitty cat. She come up and squat with her white friends right next to the abortion sign and showed the peace sign and took a selfie. We asked her, you know what she thinks about abortion. She said, I love it. I love it. I myself have killed babies. And I'm like, you know, like this is really what, you know, we up against. Like the signs have nothing to do with her Comic-Con thing. She could have kept moving. But out of all the signs, she took a selfie in front of the abortion as if to say, yeah, look at my work. That's the demon in her talking. You know what I mean? So of course the Lord bringing that monkeypox, and it is right on the bridle of where you would wear a COVID mask.
And if I could,
and you can see the picture, right? Because like we should at this given point time of Blacks and Latinos realize that the poster child for the LGBTQ is not the oppressor, but us. Everything that has to do with AIDS, you see a black or brown face. Everything that has to do with rainbows, you see a black and brown face. Everywhere you go, it be in the cartoons, it be in your Marvel movies, you know what I'm saying, on the Disney Plus, it be us. Like, we got to understand, the Lord don't like this. Like we got to consider, as black and brown people, we belong to the Lord. And just like any good father, you got to care about your family's reputation. And to go about joining another nation in their mess, in their disgustingness, of course, the Father up in heaven going to get pissed off at his kids. You know what I mean? Somebody was about to say something. Slacky.
So I was going to jump in there. I was just going to say, I lost my train of thought, but what you were just saying, Captain, asked about how we've been made the poster child for all of these evils. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. Salaki. We was taught that demonic possession was, you know, the Exorcist movie where your face is green and you're spitting out vomit and your head twisted around, or movies like Fright Night. We was laughing about that other day, Cap, where, you know, some guy's face turns, you know, evil with some fangs and he's a vampire. But demonic possession is the devil at the camp saying, yeah, abortion, yeah, that's my thing. I did that a couple times. Yeah, it's good. It's healthy for girls to choose if they want to murder their babies or not. You know what I'm saying? Like the demon is the, you know, you can't stop love. LGBT community, it's, you know, you love who you love and you can't stop that. Nobody should be able to tell you who you can love. Those are the demons. That's the evil and corrupt communication that the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? And the result of it is what we're seeing with the monkeypox on the face. You want to indulge in evil and you want to choose to serve your flesh and your lust, and you're going to reap the benefits of that. And the Bible says about the LGBT community that their blood shall be upon them. You choose to engage in a bloody, destructive actions with your body, then guess what? You're going to reap the benefits of that bloody, disgusting action back on you. You know what I'm saying? That was it. Slack. I'm good with it.
If I could continue with the scripture, Captain Mashak, please, if you don't mind. Right? So I'm going to read it from the top. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart is faint, right? But in verse 6, it says, from the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Because why? Once again, and I'm going to blame this on Christianity. Our Christian leaders and our political leaders, the furthermore you join into America, the furthermore you accept the policies within the American society, you are leading our people into a destructive state. Like how long? Look at this. Look at it. I'm glad you brought that right there up to the screen, because this right here should stick in every Black, Latino, Native American Indian mind when the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge under commanding General GEN.YAHANNA be bringing out these scriptures, because our leaders ain't telling us, well, this is the result of our lust and love for America. This right here is a byproduct of being inspired by the American culture, which is deadly for Blacks and Latinos. Like, had we started to listen from way back when the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge been telling our people, we got to come out of America, that we receive none of the plagues. You know what I'm saying? But here we are. We want to be part of this society. Let me tell you something, Black, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and I'm going to say it again. America hates you to the core. When are you going to realize that? I yield.
Listen, you
so lucky, sir. If I could, just real quick, I had this was something from a health organization. I had posted it on my page. It stopped the spread of monkeypox activity risk rating for monkeypox transmission. Just like Captain Sakawar was bringing out, how they trying to tiptoe around it. They don't want to be like I.S.U.P.K. No sons that are sodomites and no daughters that are harlots. Right. Like, they don't want to say that or come across that way. They want to tiptoe around it. But when you read the risk levels, the most risky, it says direct contact with infectious rash, scabs, or body fluids, sexual or intimate contact. Please note that condoms do not protect against monkeypox transmission. Then the next risky one is, it says more risky, kissing, cuddling, dancing at crowded party inside with non-fully clothed people. Now, who does that? Who's dancing naked in a crowd of nakedness just dancing? Then it goes to possible. Possible is sharing drinks, sharing beds, towels, and personal toiletries. So you can't even, you with the hoe and thinking, you know what I'm saying, and she might still not give you none, but you up in the bed cuddling. You getting it from the sheets. This is truly the Most High revealing everything that you do in wickedness that's under the covers or under the sheets. You know, the scriptures always talk about lift up his skirt. We're gonna lift up his skirt. Like, you can't hide nothing now because monkeypox will be all over you. You in the sheets. Like you can't even lay in the sodomite sheet. This is what they're saying through the that's impossible. This is a health organization. I couldn't get the exact name, so Salakia, but I wanted to bring that out, sir.
Azania, that everybody gonna be like the boy in the bubble. You remember that show a long time, the boy who had to live in the damn bubble? Yeah, everybody gonna be just like that. All that sneaky link bullshit, all that thing gonna stop. All that, meeting somebody in the club, all that gonna stop. I don't care. The monkeypox is fairly young in its development worldwide. It's fairly young. People aren't really taking it as serious because this thing is way more contagious than any COVID.
That's right.
Way more contagious than COVID. And I'm telling you, don't think the condom saving you. It's not. It's damn near like the Lord bring the disease to stop the sex. But in here, we're gonna be we'll pick up the slack for you. We'll fix it up in here. You sisters, now is the time. You've been trying to get that baby out there. Now is the time. Because boy, the rest of the earth is going to be, behind plastic over this damn monkeypox. They're gonna be in them bubble wrapper over this monkeypox. Like, that's ridiculous. Now,
I was just gonna say two things. So when Captain Zania was reading that list, all I could think was, well, goddamn, righteousness is the only thing that'll keep you from the monkeypox. You got to live righteously. You can't be naked out in public. You can't be grinding on some hoe or some homosexual. Like, you got to be completely chaste and honorable and dignified in how you conduct yourself. And the only place that I know on the earth where you learn that is in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
That's right.
You brothers and sisters, you want to be protected from that monkeypox, you need to go ahead and come on in and learn the ways of the men of the Lord and the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General YAHANNA. And then the second thing I wanted to say was Captain Austin was bringing out about how we've allowed ourselves to become the poster child for all of these evils that exist in this society. It just makes me think of when we came out of Egypt, when the Most High was bringing those plagues down on Egypt. At every turn, Pharaoh got mad at us. You understand? Every turn the Lord plagued Egypt, Pharaoh turned and his heart was hardened against the children of Israel. You understand? And it's in this time that we're living in, the Most High is plaguing our oppressor for all these evils that are being done, for all this evil that's being promoted. But because they've made us the poster child for all these evils, they try to make it seem as if it's our fault, as if we're the ones who are the pioneers of the LGBT community, as if we're the ones who are the pioneers of the lawless lifestyle that leads to monkeypox, as if we were the ones who started the drug epidemic in this country, when clearly all of it, the origins of all these evils point back to our oppressors. Now is the time for our people to wake up and start to realize that we have been scapegoated long enough. We have been made to be to blame long enough for all of these evils that our oppressor has pioneered. And now is the time that we got to turn back to the Most High under Commander General YAHANNA, the I.S.U.P.K, and live righteously so we can be delivered from this place.
Yeah, like they say 40,000 worldwide, but so far they just got that 5 deaths. You remember some few years ago they had that movie 12 Monkeys with some mysterious virus that was just ripping through everybody.
Right.
Willis acting the damn movie. It's called 12 Monkeys, and boy, this thing right here, like right after that damn COVID, the Lord done come with this thing here, and the economy, I don't think it could survive another drought. I don't think it could survive another, 6 months with trucks not moving and planes not moving and, people inside. I don't see how it's going to work. You know what I mean? I don't see how it's going to work. It's definitely gonna ravish the adult industry with all the strip clubs and the escorts and the OnlyFans is going to ravish that community, because that community is based on that type of by chance encounter, that type of one night stand, that type of sexual lust encounter is based on that thing, and this is going to run through it. And this is the nice thing. I ain't gonna say the nice thing, but boy, it's the nice thing about it, the dangerous thing about it, the vicious thing about it, how the Lord designed this. You can't hide the monkeypox. You could have hid the AIDS. You could have hid, you know, the HPV and the syphilis and all that. But that monkeypox, unless you wearing that COVID mask, you cannot hide that thing. That thing is going to show up and be oozing and dripping, and somebody is going to rub their face on it.
That's crazy because you cats are now catching that looking like a living bubble wrap and shit. Excuse my language. You know?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I know Captain Kahun's not in here. I'm trying to come up with a rhyme with it. If you want to keep the monkey off your back, I.S.U.P.K is where it's at. You better get up in the truth. Keep that monkey off your back.
You gotta keep that monkey off your back, guy.
You're right. You better get in the truth. Get in these classes and lock it in. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. There ain't none of us in here gonna get no monkeypox. Damn sure. And your yard gets polygyny, that gets multiple wives, but you ain't gonna have no choice. Because that download cat, he's gonna be filled with all the monkeypox everywhere. You better come up in here and get you one of these righteous brothers. Because the I.S.U.P.K is where it's at. Don't get that monkey on your back.
And T-Pain had that song, I'm trying to get you and that monkey.
That's right. That's right.
It's gonna be hell. There's gonna be hell over it, man. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, man. Lord be with him. Lord be with him. They, you know, I mean, they saw the prophets on the street. They saw Kamala GEN.YAHANNA on the street and would not, you know, they would not listen. They would not hear, and now they had a forbear.
If I could to add what you're saying there, just real quick, Captain. All them years calling us racist when we were just warning you. When we were just warning blacks and Latino, but you kept calling us racist. What, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, definitely. You want to move on to, you know, anything else? We had the Mississippi hit and run. We definitely had that border thing. I think we had some other stories too. With hold on. Of course, Pope Francis. I don't know if we touched on it.
Oh, can we do that one, sir?
No sweat.
That's a slap to the face, man.
Okay, no, there's a story here where he warned German bishops about what they're teaching, and of course the other one where he went up in Canada and put on the headpiece. Which one you want?
If you want to go both of them? You want to do the German one first? It's up to you, sir.
Yeah, we could rock the German one, and then I'm gonna pull up the other one for you. Yeah, man. And that's to even shows, you know, their time coming to an end for sure. Because the stuff they're doing, you know what I mean, it's really scraping and scrapping for support. You know? It's really scraping and scrapping for support.
And they call it they're hustling right now.
Yep, big time.
Yeah, they hustling. That Pope know that money, you know what I mean, getting depleted from all the molestation that was taking place, all the payouts that had to do to them little boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, girls. So now he on the part to, you know what I mean, getting money. Because you can't tell me you going to the Native Indians and you just going to say what? Sorry?
Right.
Well, leave the Nazis alone then. If that's all it takes, just let the Nazis send a postcard and say, I'm sorry for what Hitler did to you.
Right.
Leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Now you'll take him and the oxygen tank and put him and let him rot in jail.
Yeah.
But us is a postcard and, you know what I mean, and gifts from us, you know what I mean, and a sorry. And just acknowledgement.
Yeah. God, Captain Knight, Doc, that's heavy because that's like a Nazi going and dealing with the quote unquote the Jewish man, right? And him saying, "Oh, we sorry. Give me your yarmulke."
Yeah.
Yarmulke on his head. That would be the biggest insult. They would not allow that to happen, not at all. They would look at that like, nah, you can't do that at all. And for you even trying to attempt to do that, now we need to take you to court and find out when you was a Nazi and lock you up. You know, like you bring out something heavy. But when it's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we always, you know, we always want to bring them to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? We always want to give them our flavor. Oh, Bill Clinton can play the saxophone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We always, you know, oh, he can dance. John Travolta can dance a little bit. You know, instead of us being in the spirit of the Most High and our King Yahweh Shai Mashiach, where we are against the other nations, and there is no mockery, no protection at all.
That's right, man. And that act with that what Francis did, and our brothers and sisters just accepting, that's textbook biblical Jeremiah, where the part he says that we teach the wicked our ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And when they put the headdress on, but I know you're gonna show it so that way everybody else that didn't see it, you're gonna see. If you didn't see it, if you don't watch news and you're watching this, you're gonna find out in a second when Captain Mashak bring it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just play the one with German first, and we'll slide right over to the
German bishops. Yes, changing teachings is not lawful, causes churches to rot and die. Catholic Church in Germany considering alternative teachings on homosexuality, marriage, female priests, church governance. Pope Francis on Thursday took a swing at the Catholic Church leadership in Germany, reminding faithful in the country that the German bishops do not have the authority to propagate new theology or alter church governance. The statement was released by the Holy See on Thursday morning. In the message, the Pope expressed concern for the laity and clergy of Germany if their leaders break with established church teaching. The statement claimed that Catholics would be negatively affected by the many proposed changes to the church pushed by Cardinal Reinhard Marx and other liberal German leaders in their synodal path. The synodal path, sometimes called the synodal way, is a controversial church committee in Germany. The synod, organized by the German Bishops' Conference and the Central Committee of German Catholics, aims at discussing and addressing 4 loose topics: sexual ethics, the structure of church governance, women's role in the church, and the vocation of the priesthood.
I think you had to mute your
In order to protect the freedom of the people of God and the exercise of the episcopal ministry, it was necessary to clarify that the synodal way in Germany does not have the power to compel the bishops and the faithful to adopt new ways of governance and new approaches to doctrine and morals. The statement from the Holy See said, prior to an agreed understanding at the level of a universal church, it would not be permissible to initiate new official structures or doctrines in the diocese, which would represent a wound to ecclesial communion and a threat to the unity of the church. Marx, who spearheaded the committee, has tabled propositions to change teachings on homosexuality, marriage, masturbation, female priests, and more that go against the catechism of the Catholic Church. A significant alteration in the governance of the German church or its belief system could push it into schism with the Holy See, thereby splintering out of the Catholic Church. Such a conflict could prove catastrophic for both German Catholics and the Catholic Church at large. Thanks to a long-standing government church tax, the Catholic Church in Germany is perhaps the wealthiest branch of the institution.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Over 100.
That's what that bitch is about. That bitch is about the money.
Yeah.
That bitch is about the money and the tax. And he's like, listen, nigga, y'all ain't paying me enough to run your own goddamn shit. Y'all need to pay some more of that German, whatever they got over there, drachma. I don't know what the hell their money is. But y'all need to come with some more of that Gestapo money before y'all could do your own thing. I've told y'all what to say, and y'all ain't want to say. Well, once again, like there is no one body of Christ outside of the I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
There is no one body. Like they beefing over, you know what I mean, the stance on homosexuality, woman's role and doctrine, and what the Bible say. What does it say?
Right.
Like there ain't no beef over no doctrine and theology and the taxes and who is the richest one. Because of all the taxes, the German Catholic Church is rich beyond, care. Now he had to come in there and, restrict them. So why? So they'll say, well, all right, here's a little bit more money. Let us go and do whatever we had to do. Like these people is ridiculous, man. I don't know if you want to hear the rest of it.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Around the world issued an open letter to. However, Pope Francis has been quick to rhetorically swat down would-be reformers who are at risk of ignoring Rome's central authority on alterations of teaching or governance. The Pope reiterated this balancing act in his message to German Catholics. The statement on the German Synod quotes a passage from Pope Francis' letter to the pilgrim people of God in Germany, saying, the universal church lives in into the particular churches, just as the particular churches live and flourish in, and from the universal church. If they find themselves separated from the entire ecclesial body, they weaken, rot, and die. Hence the need always to ensure that communion with the whole body of the church is alive and effective. The Bishop of Rome ended the message with an appeal to the universal nature of the church and its need for worldwide cooperation. The term Catholic is Greek for universal. Pope Francis wrote, "It is therefore hoped that the proposals of the way of the particular churches in Germany will converge with the synodal path being followed by the universal church for mutual enrichment and the testimony of the unity with which the body of the church manifests its fidelity to Christ the Lord."
The fidelity to your coffers. That's what it's talking about.
Yeah.
That's really what this is about.
Yeah, that's about money. That power move.
Yep. That's he in charge. They wanna do something different. He had to come out and check them publicly now. So now they have a one choice. Either you pay it up and then you get to do whatever, or you separate and die. And that's a threat. He said if you continue, it's gonna cause a split and you're going to rot and die. Like he ain't prophesying. He threatening their ass. Yeah. Like the way how he said it, they make it sound like, oh, it's a prophecy. He's seeing a vision. No, nigga, he gonna send the modern day what's called the Templar. He gonna send the modern day Templars to out you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To out your light and you're gonna be done.
He doing exactly what a Caesar would do.
Yep.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah, they're trying to secure power because apparently that German church making so much money that they're able to basically, you know what I mean, tell Rome kick rocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the Pope, he ain't having that. Yeah, he done looking like Count Dracula and you know what I mean, himself.
Yeah, he fighting that thing. He ain't letting them get away with it. You know what I mean?
No.
Anybody had the article where he visited Canada? I'm looking for the picture or the video of him putting on that damn headpiece.
I think you sent it. Let's see.
Right, where he apologized to indigenous survivors.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see about
You got it?
This is a short video of him on the visit, I guess.
Oh man, that man going out there and man, come on, this is the man here that we had to get. This old man here that putting on that headpiece on the Pope.
Brother. Salaki, brother, the witchcraft that's going on with our people is ridiculous, boy. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this is no different than the Christian church.
Yep.
Even just the reaction of it, it's no different than the Christian church. And this here would be the Uncle Toms of the Native Indian people.
Yep.
Or the Native or the First Peoples. There's a whole group that's against this that did not get invited, that wanted to curse him out, that wanted, quote unquote reparations because they're in the world, that wanted justice for what was done. This was goddamn genocide, man.
Yep.
This was genocide. People write books about how much they was killing Native people. And you come there and put on some feathers on your head and now I'm supposed to do what? Accept you?
That's right.
If I could, it's Captain Kahan always called them Uncle Tomahawks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is a perfect example. Hey, Captain, also on the private chat, I put the link to the story if you
so if somebody could read it, if you could read it, or anyone that's on a yell in soccer will step off. But I think this is where I got the video from, the same article.
Right.
Sir, and it's very, for this past Passover, the All Black Party.
Right.
I know a brother in the world. Okay, he's from the tribe of Gad. He's Haudenosaunee, which is the Onondagas here in upstate New York, and he made me this special shirt for the All Black Party. And it's custom for that tribe specifically. And when he came to give it to me, he came to the school that day to give me the shirt. You know what I'm saying? And when he came, he had a headpiece. I'm talking about, this headpiece was beautiful, man. It was so regal. And when I went to reach to touch it, I wasn't trying to disrespect the brother, but I was just like so enamored at it. Like it was just rocking. I was like, ooh. And when I went to reach and touch it, he said, only specific people can touch it, and even more so can put it on their head. It's not for everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something very sacred to us. You know what I mean? And he was just breaking it down for me. And when he was telling me that, and then when I saw this, I just felt disgusted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know the brother wasn't against me being from another tribe. He was just trying to express the sacredness and how important they view those crowns and those headpieces, those headdresses. And for them to just readily go right ahead and put it on this sodomite, this bastard, this coward, to oppressor's head. It just tore me up. Salakia. I just wanted to bring that out.
If I could too, this is the epitome of just completely erasing Thanksgiving and all the horrific events that happened with our brothers and sisters of the tribe of Gad and Reuben. You know what I'm saying? This right here is like, was no disregard of our own leaders within that community, no disregard for all the brothers and sisters with their communities being destroyed, raping of children and women and even men, you know what I'm saying, stealing whole acres of land throughout the new world, for them to come back and then allow this, man. This is a disgrace, man. You know what I'm saying? Like if you truly love and cared about your First Nations, you should have opposed directly this event, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that improves that a lot of these brothers are really into Christianity. So much, not saying all of them, but so much of them that they would be like, oh, they came with their religion and blah, 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 blah. But then you would go ahead and accept the Pope. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Salakia.
Yeah, it's definitely the Christianity on them. Once again, the oppressor is such a he's such a clever one when it comes to how he postures himself for our people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the ones of us that's not swift in the spirit, we are easily seduced by him. You know what I mean? We easily seduced by him. You know what the Pope's security is like? I mean, he rides through a crowd with people holding babies in a bulletproof cabin. So you could imagine the people who actually around him, what his security thinks of them. You understand what I'm saying? Those people who are up on the stage with him, brother, are people who's going to sell your child to the Pope. It's no different than your TD Jakes or your Creflo doll.
That's right.
It's no different than that. And once again, this is he ain't go to the Hamites and ask them for this. It's damn near like they're pandering to the 12 tribes right at the end where Christ is pouring his spirit out on us. It's damn near like this is the beginning of them trying to do whatever and save face. I don't know what he think, regardless of whatever, Christ gonna get his revenge. You know what I mean? The Lord say vengeance is mine, not the 12 tribes.
That's right.
Vengeance in ours. Vengeance is the Lord. Hey, Pope, if you want to defer judgment, like you chose the wrong person to try to appease. Right. You should go try to appease the Lord, because some feathers on your head is not going to save you from the judgment that's coming.
That's right.
So, as Proverbs say, no hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished.
That's
right. You know what I mean? Like the Catholic Church, all the destruction that placed on the Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian community. You think the law going just wash it away? And now when I see this, you know, I mean, I'm trying to picture a Nazi literally putting like a German, not German, a Jewish man putting, as I say, them yarmulke on a German.
Yep.
Some
Jewish rabbi. Jewish rabbi go and he do the whole celebration and put a yarmulke, not just on a German, you know, some high-ranking Nazi official.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Who is, you know what I mean? Who is, you know what I mean, giving them money, whatever. I'm trying to picture it, and I can't. You know what I mean? What I could picture in my mind is what I saw when there was wheeling out a 105-year-old Nazi out of court with a oxygen tank.
Yeah.
There was fitting to give him 5 years, if so much, you know what I mean, in prison with that oxygen tank.
Yeah.
You understand? And now to watch this, it's, you know what I mean, it's degrading. You know what I mean? It's full out disrespectful. You know what I mean? To our Native Indians, brothers and sisters.
This is the epitome of what a whore looks like right here. Right here. This is what this is. Whoredom. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to appease the lover.
Yeah.
When fully the lovers is street. Like on the visuals, it look like he's doing the right thing, but you know there's something coming behind this. And just give it some time. We'll hear about what you know, what they've done to the Native Indians again, as usual. You know what I'm saying? Just give it a little time. If I could, Salaki Captain Mashad General Katham posted something there.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell him that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is, you know what I mean? Exactly what it is.
Yep. That's right, John. That's absolutely right. They for sure, they don't care about our customs or our holy things or anything.
Yep.
Like it's like we did, like they want us to defile to show that we join them. You know what I mean? But somebody watching on, or somebody who is young, who ain't really know or have a good grasp of the customs, would just say, hey, this is a token of the appreciation. But really, this is just defiling your sacred things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? This is for sure defiling your sacred thing. And in Esther too. Remember, in Esther, after that king had killed what's his name? Not Haman. Haman. And then they reversed the order, and all the enemies, the heathens that was plotting to kill the Jews, they got the sword put to them. Remember, there were some heathens who decided to take on the customs of the Jews to get spared.
Right.
I mean, they decided to take on the custom of the Jews to now escape good and sound judgment. And listen, this is here what they're doing. Like, feathers on your head is not going to, you know, cover you from all the children that was buried in them schools.
Yes.
I mean, and then what do they call them? Boarding schools.
Boarding schools, yeah.
You know what I mean? All that story the general brought out last year, where they had the electric chair in the basement.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In the basement, and would just abuse the child. And now, what you coming to say? Who went to jail? Which officials did you drag before the courts in the Vatican City? Like, you ain't doing now you come to sit and do what? Put feathers on your head and then say what? Is there anything in the article that says what it is he wanted?
I don't think so.
We could read some of it. You know what I mean?
I'll read it, sir.
Please.
Yes, sir. It says Pope Francis apologizes to the indigenous community in Canada over church's role in boarding school abuse. And under it says, I humbly beg forgiveness for the evil committed by Christians, he said. Further down it says, Pope Francis offered a long-sought apology to the indigenous community in Canada on Monday over the Catholic Church's role in the generational abuse they suffered at indigenous residential schools for nearly 150 years. The schools were...
Hold on. You can't... Nah. If the Jewish man gets justice today, for a Holocaust, so-called Holocaust that lasted how long? What, 4 or 5 years maybe?
Yep.
And then that was it. There's no German boarding school that was cracking the heads of young Jewish babies and burying them.
Right.
They went through whatever they went through. They put them in some ovens, he baked them, he starved them, good, done. They get a whole country. And still today, they're dragging them soldiers, as NAFAC was bringing out, with an oxygen tank for justice. But you get to apologize and nobody goes to jail. Nobody gets, put in chains and dragged out before the court. Nobody gets their pockets stripped. You want to talk about the German bishop speaking against what your doctrine is. Meanwhile, all of you all together destroy the whole nation of people.
That's right.
And now you want to exchange pleasantries in a long. Listen, you could start by kissing boots, though.
That's right.
You could start with kissing boots and turning over your coffers to the I.S.U.P.K. if you really want forgiveness.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, all that rich Vatican money, that shit had to come somewhere where we could now start to reform the 12 tribes of Israel and rebuild the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Like, nobody out there could tell this man he's the devil.
And Captain, and the Catholics, he go around apologizing, but he don't speak reparation. You know what I'm saying? And he go around specifically just to those brothers and sisters there. He needed to start in the Caribbean and work his way throughout the New World, because that religion put a lot of us natives, to death when we lost our culture. And don't stop there. He needed to take his butt and apologize to every black man, West Indian man, and nation as well, because all that affected the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. 150 years. It was sad. It was a crime like you've never seen before. With the children of Gad, but this crime is bigger than 150 years.
Mm-hmm.
This crime is way bigger than that. Salakia.
Yeah, and if he was truly sorry, he will shut that Catholic church down. He will empty the pockets of all them Catholic churches.
That's right.
He will empty it. America is still paying Israel over 80 billion a year.
That's right.
Over $1 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what 80 million could do for the so-called indigenous people, the so-called Gadites.
Right.
You know what that could do for them? That could build them a country, but they wouldn't do that.
No,
that's
right. I mean, because they're not really sorry for what they did. This is just is just what I.S.U.P.K calls it, boy. This is
publicity stunt. A publicity stunt.
Publicity stunt. This here is a publicity stunt. This here is to basically to show blacks and Hispanics that the Catholic Church they have some empathy. Some they really care about the indigenous people. But it's got nothing to do with that.
And listen, if I could too, like this is the reason why we supposed to be all under one head, right. One leader. Because the whoever is in charge of this particular tribe or this particular reservation or group, he ain't consult with everybody else as to whether he should accept that apology and offer these feathers. The Seminole Indians in Florida, those in Dakota, in North and South Dakota, he ain't consult with the Israelite school or UPK. Right. You have to have a leader in charge who is going to negotiate on behalf of the whole nation. And that's what happened in the Maccabees with Mattathias. Like they went to Mattathias because he was that nigga. He was that one who everybody would listen to. You get the point? And here is down here like they're using the splits and then go into the Uncle Toms who will accept them and who is in charge of the reservation. That reservation from all the brothers who went on there and just my little interaction with them is very, very hierarchical. It's a very strong, strict, stiff hierarchy with certain people in charge, and that's just that. You get the point?
If I could add another thing, that while they accept this devil and put a headpiece on him, the black Indians, right, of the tribe of Gad and Reuben, they quickly kicked them out, quickly to disown them, quickly to say you're not part of us, but they'll accept this devil, knowing full well the history behind the culture of the Vatican Church and the Catholic Church, knowing full well the atrocities. Like, imagine if like I.S.U.P.K Ataway, the brother that died burnt alive, when the Catholics told him, if you would you be willing now to accept Jesus? He said, if there's Christians in heaven, I'd rather go to hell, and he died.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine him being around today and seeing this. That brother would be so inflamed. You know what I'm saying? Probably want to get on the plane and go to Canada to step to them brothers and sisters like that, because this is a disrespect. This right here, when I look at it, Captain Mashak, I'm just thinking Psalms 55. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking that. Yes, sir. That's what I see right here. That's what I see right here. Salakia.
Yeah, it's definitely witchcraft. It's the mystery of iniquity. It's Thessalonians, like, unless there come a falling away first, and the man of perdition be revealed.
Yes,
and they're trying to cover up the man of perdition with his headpiece.
That's right.
They're trying to cover him up and cover up his sin and cover up the sin he inherited. Remember, this 150 years old that he admit to, and he ain't 150 years old. So he inherited this blood that was spilled. You understand? His organization destroyed God's chosen people. Like, you could do way more than that. You could do way more than that. You want to step to the German bishop over, some money. Meanwhile, all of you are benefited against the murder and the rape of God's chosen people.
Salaki, Captain Michelle, you're so right, the witchcraft. Because here's another thing that we also got to keep in mind. This Pope was born in South America.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So with that, they figure, well, he can relate to them more. You know what I'm saying? Because he was born in South America, around other indigenous. You know what I'm saying? Well, he can relate to them more. You know what I'm saying? You should go over there and just, formally apologize for all the rape, the pillage, and the plundering, and the whitewashing of the minds of the Gadites in those boarding schools. You should just go over here and do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Salaki, go ahead, Salaki, Captain.
No, I was agreeing with you, brother. I was agreeing with you, Salaki.
Yeah, no, I yield though, sir.
No, sir. Let me see if I pull up another.
Salaki, sir, one report.
If you like, Captain Soccer War want to say something, being that he's from the tribe of Gad.
If I could, I would this whole story just highlights the similarities that exist between the tribe of Gad and the tribe of Judah and the so-called Hispanics, meaning the same way it is. We talked about the Christian church and the church, and the same thing with the Catholic Church and with the religions that our brothers and sisters who are identified as Hispanic have adopted from their oppressors. It's the same thing with Gad. Like, we have a legacy of sellouts at the leadership position in our communities. You know what I mean? And the same way you have these men who are here with their headdresses and they are, anointing the Pope, so to speak. There's the same way that you have reservations where brothers and sisters are starving, where alcoholism is running rampant, where their suicide rates are through the roof. But then you also have casinos where they're living deliciously and they're, raking in the dough, dealing with our oppressor, but they forget about their people at the bottom. To see them invite this man, knowing the legacy that the Catholic Church has had concerning the destruction of our people. And this isn't something that's in the past. This isn't something that was 50 years ago. My father is a Gadite from Carolina. He was taken from his home as a child, about 6 years old, and he was given to one of those boarding schools. And he grew up from the age of 6 to about 16, being indoctrinated and brainwashed by the oppressor to hate his people. When he came home, he explained to me how he hated his mother for many years because how could you let these white people take me? And so there's a gap and a division that exists in the Gadite community between generations where the children were taught to hate their parents, taught to hate who they were, taught to hate their culture, but also there's a feeling of betrayal and let down between the children and the parents because how could you let these people take us? But then you grow up and you mature and you experience life and you realize, well, damn, they were oppressed. The same way a brother or sister who may have grown up with parents who were addicted to drugs, You grow up feeling neglected and feeling like nobody cares about you, nobody loves you, but then you grow up and you realize, damn, man, crack was a horrible thing that came through and swept out a whole generation of our community. You know, damn, they were powerless against what happened to them. But that's the same way the Gadites are in that same predicament, where you have a generation who was wiped out because of these boarding schools, because of the Catholicism, because of the lies and the indoctrination, because of the kill the Indian and save the man. And they have no recourse for, you know, they have justice. They have nowhere to turn to get any help or to get any, you know, find a way through to what's next. And then these same people who, you know, have destroyed your community, destroyed your nation, taken your land, to watch the so-called leaders of your people anoint him and accept an apology on your behalf when you're still struggling, starving on the reservation in the ghetto. And at the bottom, it's what'll drive our brothers and sisters from the tribe of Gad to turn to the Most High and realize that if we don't have the Most High on our side, then there is no justice, there is no hope for us.
Awesome. And too, you know what I mean, this ain't no different than your black pastors and them, and you know what I mean, having like Joe Biden and, you know what I mean, and these presidents inside the church, and, you know what I mean, making them out to be, you know what I mean, like great people, you know what I mean, when they should for sure be, you know what I mean, checking them for what their people had done to, you know what I mean, to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. I mean, it ain't no, you know what I mean, this ain't no different, much different than that. You know what I mean? To show that, you know, as a people, we are destroyed. You know what I mean? Right. We totally destroyed mentally.
Yeah, you're right. You remember even too when with Eddie Long, when they was trying to make him regain, you know, popularity. You know, remember when they brought him out on the chair and they cover him with the Jewish thing and they bring out the scroll.
Yep.
Like they do all these things when you done committed crimes against, you know, the Lord's people. You know what I mean? And just as you was touching this, actually, I did not know that, you know, you were so close to the experience. You know, many of our people, for sure, we hear stories about, you know, what our foreparents went through, but not a lot of us are so close to the experience. You know what I mean? Yourself, I know Captain Mao Quad with his grandmother, who was one of the survivors from that story from 100 years of lynchings, and tell all the children my story. You know, there's definitely people who's so close to the thing, and I mean, we hear and see it all the time. I always remember this interview. I really want to play it. You know, I mean, big up Kapash. You know, Kapash, he did a lot of research on the Native Indian tribes and, you know, how Esau would deal with us, and, you know, the so-called Negro in America, the tribe of Judah, how they would come together, and there was so much government programs. Back then with the cavalry, when the cavalry was fighting the Indians, that they was given rewards for any tribe that would turn in the slaves. And so much so that, you know, the sisters would go down there and buy slaves and set them free. And the chiefs would take in the brothers and sisters. You can read about that in the Black Indians. There's so many government policies they created to try to destroy the unity between the so-called Negro and so-called, you know, Native people. But this brother here, he survived one of the boarding schools. And I mean, listening to him talk is absolutely heartbreaking. If I could play it for a second.
Right. Boarding school. And the other one is Flandreau Indian School in Flandreau, South Dakota. Mid-60s to early 70s, took me to the boarding school where I wasn't allowed to talk my native tongue or practice my native ways. Numerous times they put on this big old white, big huge white cone, put on there, it says dunce. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know English. They put it on me, make me wear it all over. Kids would laugh at me. it took me away from all of that and punished me for talking that. It was my first language. I didn't know any other language. But whenever I talk, it came out. Cree would come out, and whenever I talk, I get hit. I got hit so much I lost my tongue. I lost my native tongue. The only thing I remember was my Indian name. Which is I.S.U.P.K, means old man eagle. That's the only Cree I knew. They beat me. Every day, they beat me. They cut off my hair, made me kneel in front of the door where everybody come in. Everybody make fun of me when they come by me.
Like, brother, this is immense emotional, psychological abuse that they did to our people. And for you to see, you know, you gonna apologize and somebody just put some feathers on your head and everything is all honky dory. No, this man is probably about what, late 60s, early 70s, and he is still extremely traumatized by what was done to him and the what do you call it, the religious ridicule. You know what I mean? He went through a regiment of ridicule. It's one thing to be, you know, abused. It's another thing that after the abuse, you get put on display for people to ridicule, and they put him to kneel down, so they lower him in front of the other kids. And they had to, you know, tease him and make fun of him and call him all kind of names and throw whatever at him. You know what I mean, as a boy. And he, you know, they would beat him so much that he can't, you know, the trauma, he ain't talking that language no more. And, you know, this is an old man. He's probably as old as the Pope. He's probably the same age as that same Pope. So what the hell you telling me about now? You want to have an apology? You ain't apologize to this man?
Rub my head and laugh at me because I was talking. They caught me talking. I hope someday somebody will hear me.
Yeah. That man need justice.
Yeah, man.
That's what he need.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's why he says someday somebody will hear me. He need justice.
Yep.
All that tears, you know what I mean, that flowing from that brother. That's what he crying out for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can't expect your oppressor to give you justice from your oppressor. You can't expect it.
Yeah.
It will never happen.
Yeah, he's the one that did the injustice. He can't give you the justice.
Yeah.
It had to come from somebody else.
That's it.
And if I could, sir, just speaking about, you know, one of y'all mentioned how there was this very small group of so-called guys that was there to give the Pope that headdress, and it has to be understood that the larger population of the Gadite community feel the way that you know, they feel the way we feel about the oppressor.
Yeah,
they're the devil. You can't trust them. Any treaties or any sweet, kind words coming out of their mouth, you know that there's something evil coming behind it. Like their experience with these devils has given them the understanding that they are not to be trusted. But it is only, again, those who sit at the top, those who have something to gain financially from bowing down to the oppressor. Those are the ones who are out in the front spearheading, you know, let's accept this apology. Let's hear what he has to say. Let's celebrate him and let's give him a headdress. But the majority of the Gadite people are against that. Majority of the Gadite people understand that these people are not to be trusted. And that is what cost us our land. That's what cost us our civilization. That's what cost us our culture, was trusting them before, and we are not trusting them anymore. That's why for those brothers and sisters, those brothers who in the UPK that have had spearheaded operations to try and, you know, get on board with the Gadites on the reservations, you'll find that there's a lot of standoffishness and distrust from them. Like, they've been traumatized so much dealing with this oppressor. For anyone to come from the outside and try to extend an olive branch to them or try to express some kindness or some brotherhood to them is very difficult to gain their trust. But
except when you're the oppressor, though.
Except when you come.
Just like our Christian leaders. Our Christian leaders, they love the oppressor, but, you know, let one of us go up in there or, you know, try to say anything. They question our credibility. They question our, you know, our pedigree. You know what I mean? But the oppressor, he can come up in there. And listen, I wouldn't doubt this, like how this sister here is, you know, screaming at them and, you know, yelling and crying. I'm wondering if this is just the media doing what the media does. Like, she could be protesting against this damn devil.
Yeah.
And they spin it as if she's so moved and touched. But she had that fist raised, Doc. She got that fist raised and she out there by herself. Look, everybody else around her is just taking pictures and ignoring her. Like, you know, what do you come here with your crazy ass doing? You know what I mean? So to back up what you're saying, Sako,
no, when you finish, there's something there I want to go back on, but
yeah, please go ahead.
No, it's the grave site with the cross. Yeah, that right there, that there in them, that's the Catholic Church. You understand?
Right.
Like that ain't a Native Indian grave. That's the Catholic Church that trying to, as I say, force assimilation.
Yeah.
You understand? Like you telling me you apologizing for forced assimilation, then tell them the truth. Tell them who there is.
Yeah.
I mean, you have the history right at the bottom of the Vatican. You have the history of the Native Indians. Tell them who there is.
Yeah.
Understand? Because you force them to assimilate into loving you. And now they hate the self. To the point where they're gonna put one of the sacred crown on you. That is hatred to their people. Because who you go ask the people in the grave if you should put that crown on the Pope head.
Yeah,
I bet they're gonna say no.
Yeah,
because they're dead.
That's right.
You take it upon your selfish self to go do that.
Yeah,
you weren't thinking about your brothers and them who in the grave because of their abuse.
That's right.
You understand? You ain't thinking about that. You're thinking about how you gonna look to the world.
Exactly. If I could, Azania, please, could you grab for me in the Apocrypha Baruch? Salaki, give me Baruch 3 and 6. Give me Baruch 3 and 6. 3 and 4, Salaki. Give me Baruch 3 and 4. If you don't mind, brother.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 4. O Lord Almighty, thou God of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites.
Hear now the prayers of who?
The dead Israelites.
Go ahead.
And of their children, which have sinned before thee, and not hearkened unto the voice of thee their God.
Right. And as you say, they're showing that grave site and all the unmarked graves under these boarding schools where they bury these children. You could imagine what these children would be praying for when they get their head crack open to not speak Cree or whatever other language that got beat out of them. And now I'm supposed to forgive this bastard here? The Bible says, remember the prayers of the dead Israelites and their children. You don't give a damn about nobody, white man.
No, sir.
You the devil the Bible speaks of. You the oppressor. You everything wrong with us, sir.
That's right.
Keep reading, please, brother.
For the which cause these plagues cleave unto us.
Right? This is why these plagues cleave unto us. Because our people, we not remembering the prayers of our foreparents who got slain by these people here.
That's
in
right.
organized crime. Not a crime of passion or rage that was instant. In sitting and plotting on how to destroy us.
That's right.
We are not remembering those prayers, like what Ash was just bringing out with Houthi. Where they ask him if where would he want to go if he goes to heaven and white people is there. He said, I don't want to go if white people is there.
Yep.
This is a quote that I think who it was Bartholomew de las Casas.
Yeah, that's from the book. Yes.
Yeah, he was taking notes about what was seen and what the Native Indians were saying. And this famous brother who was a warrior for his people, Daniel, like almost like how Geronimo was, but before that time, he said if he has to go to heaven, if he had to die and go to heaven, and white people gonna be there, he don't want to go.
Yeah.
Like, no, you ain't remembering his prayers. You take his woman and beat his woman and rape his woman, take their children, cut their hair, and teach them about Caesar Borgia and Latin, and teach them how to speak English and strip them of their language and make them hate their own. And now you're kissing the hands of those children. The Lord is going to put you all to death, man. The Lord is going to bring plagues upon plagues and plagues, man. Like, you all have no conscience at all. None. You know what I mean? If you all don't mind, I would like to play the rest of that video with the brother right there. That's an insane video. That should bring us right up on the time.
Yeah.
Oh, still through this. We have to have our own language. Because what we do when we talk to our spirits, they don't understand English. They look at you, you've been talking English. What are you saying? Don't be saying that. Cree. No, you didn't know what I just said.
And if I could, that part is heavy right there because, of course, he talking about, praying to the spirits and the ancestors and stuff like that. But that's in the Bible. In the Apocrypha, it says they translate this original text, the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, and they translated it to English, and the words have lost their force. It's lost their force, and which is why having your language is so important. And he basically said he can't talk to the Lord directly. He need a translator to talk to his own power.
Yeah.
The white man, he would never allow that. Till this day, they harass the tribe of I.S.U.P.K, the so-called Mexican, for speaking Spanish. All them white people would harass them. Why can't you speak English? Why can't you speak English? Till this day. The white man takes his language as sacred, but he can't respect nobody else's own. He can't respect nobody else's humanity, which is why he got to go.
Right.
Not rough.
That was a hard time in my life. I'll always remember it. For that white man, it's a terrible shame for him to be treating people like this.
At least you know it, brother. You know it's the white man. So much people blame black people for their own problems. But he knows it's the white man is the goddamn problem.
That's right.
Slowly, sir. If I could too. That brother's tears is generational Them tears are generational. That's his tears right there. Even though we see it now, those are the tears of the ancestors of the Gadites in this one body and this one brother right here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Our brothers and sisters, all the tribes, should feel this pain. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we feel the pain of George Floyd, but feel this also, man.
Yeah.
We are the people. We just need to be accepted.
That's crazy, yeah. Like he's going to die feeling that he needs to be accepted by the white man. White man is the devil, brother. Like that, those words would free his spirit out.
That's right.
Those words, like right now, even though they did this to him, he cannot let himself feel the hatred he needs to feel towards the oppressor.
Right. And Salaki Cap, that is forced assimilation.
Yes.
That is what forced assimilation looks like.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's
like
right.
He's forced, he was forced into loving you to the point whereas he lived his life just trying for you to accept him.
Yeah.
You know, 12 tribes. I know who the hell that is. You know what I mean? That is us right there. You brothers and sisters who not in this truth, that is us right there.
Yep.
All the truth, that would have been me.
Yep.
Just crying just to be accepted.
Yeah. Fighting to get in there and being willing to let go of your past like them native leaders did. And put the chief headpiece. You know, imagine how many of the poor of that reservation, of the poor, the homeless, or the hungry, who they would not put a headpiece on. Their own people, who they wouldn't put a headpiece on. But this murderer could travel hundreds of miles from Rome, that's sitting on the bones of your people. You put a headpiece on him, man. Listen, man, without the Most High and our King Christ putting the Spirit on the brothers who, went before and laid down this foundation and now have left it to Commander Gen.YAHANNA and the Israelite School of ISUPK, brother, we really don't have a prayer in the battle against this oppressor. We cannot beat him, we cannot outsmart him, we cannot outthink him, we cannot outwar him. Listen, it's a struggle to just feel the resentment towards him, the hate towards him, to want justice. It's a struggle for Black people to do it, Hispanics and Native Indians. It's crazy.
And that's go ahead, Captain.
Go ahead, Captain. Select.
No, I was going to just say quick. That's why we say the Bible has one flow.
That's right.
Yeah. It's about the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian. If you feel like if it's including your oppressor, you better come to class and ask a question.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just one flow. You know what I mean? That's to show you how we were forced to assimilate into this place. Yeah. Whereas you have to program your mind when you read the Bible. This is only for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right. That's right. I just really want real quick to say, sir, also too, with them leaders putting that headdress on that devil, they forgot that right now in 2022 in Winnipeg, where there's a lot of Gadites who live there in makeshift homes, that when wintertime comes, they have to live in that cold with no heat. When it snows, they got to deal with that because the Canadian government to this day does not help them in one bit. They have to go through the winters time and time again where all the piping is freezing, literally living in scraps of plywood, making their homes because they can't afford a real house. You know what I'm saying? Right now. But to do this says something to the poor among your brothers and sisters, like you don't care that you're suffering in the wintertime. You don't care that still to this day, the Canadian government is hating on you extremely. Always bringing up charges against you, always arresting you. You are the criminal in the Canadian government to allow this devil to come up and throw his witchcraft on these brothers and sisters, and they accept, and it's just everything just erased with one. I'm sorry. That don't work that way. That don't work. Sorry comes by way of you paying back what you stole. Sorry comes by way of you going through what I went through, what my brothers went through, my family went through for generations.
That's right.
That's a sorry. Not no sorry, hey, let's all come together. The hell with that. I don't want no sorries.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of sorry I want.
And they're gonna pay them in our ass. They're gonna give them leaders something. But as you rightfully saying, look how many of the native women that been missing between the Dakota and Canada. Missing for years, just going missing. They're all missing girls. And that is a result of Catholic doctrine. That those native tribes are less people. So you could go around there and drive off with their girls. And these Uncle Tom sellout bastards, they don't have no rage in them for it. They don't have no crying for justice. I really think the media spin that sister who was crying with her fist up.
Yeah, I
really think so. I would believe that she came up in there unawares. Like she just stayed quiet enough to get in there and went and probably cursed him out in whatever language and put her fist up and crying because how could you have him here? But they spin it as if she was, appeasing to them. It's crazy.
If I could too, and if you're right, sir, she has more courage than all them goddamn brothers and sisters up there posing and fronting. You know what I'm saying? She has, if that's true, she has more courage than every last one of them. It's a lot.
Yep. You know what I mean? So I know we write up on the time. We get through a few of them stories tonight. You know what I mean? Lord of Lord, we'll be back at it again. You all know Commander Gen.YAHANNA. He's gonna be on Monday, Lord's will. Lord's will, he'll be on. I know y'all had a fantastic show last Monday. I think it was yourself, Nathac, Shapa, General Haas. I think Kahan was up in there with you all.
Yeah.
Somebody else was in there too, I believe, right? Gadalha.
Yeah, Gadalha. Yeah.
In there. Y'all rock that thing out. You know what I mean? So General was coming back from Chicago. Y'all know them airports be hell. You know what I mean? Hell and high water. It was absolutely ridiculous. Everybody I knew got delayed from Chicago. Everybody got, two delays, 3 delays back to back. Sac G, I tried to talk to Sac G. He's like, Salaki, Sac, what's shaking his head right now?
It was rough, Salaki.
Yeah, I mean, them airports and them getting over. They're overselling the tickets to try to make back all that money from last year.
Yeah. And they're not in a recession, right? What they're saying, they're in a transition.
They're in a transition.
Yeah.
They're changing the verbiage, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're changing the verbiage on it.
They created their own pronouns.
I don't identify as a recession. I identify as a transition. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. That's what is really going on. You know what I mean? Also, I just want to say, big up Captain Malquan and that Midwest crew. You know what I mean? Captain LeBron, Captain Kapash, Captain Patazar, Officer Kudash Zayan. Who else I'm missing? Gabara Math. Hadar Ya'ala, Ra'im. You know what I mean? All the heavy hitters up there. Salaki, if I forget anybody or left anybody out, but y'all really showed out, you know what I mean, for that Chicago weekend. That Chicago weekend was something to behold. Y'all did your thing, and boy, that Magnificent Mile, that shit is like Emerald City in Oz, boy. God damn, Chicago got money.
Yeah.
Chicago City, brother. I want to say it probably rivals New York.
Yeah.
I want to say it rivals New York. That city is absolutely. This is the first time I've ever seen downtown. You all had to forgive me. But downtown Friday night, and I was like this the whole night. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe that this was the Chicago that they complain about on TV. There's such a divide with the wealth in Chicago. Chicago is a very, 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 very wealthy. Very wealthy city. So big up to them brothers down there, man. Holding down the truth, giving Esau hell, and having a fantastic weekend. The general went out there and crushed, you know, the whole spirit of Christianity on the Magnificent Mile.
Yeah,
that's right.
So again, big up that whole crew. You all know next is New York headquarters cookout August 28th.
Yeah.
August 28th, I believe, is Saturday and Sunday. The Saturday, I think, is camp, and then he had that yacht party, that yacht fest. You know what I mean? You're gonna go on there and you're in the Caribbean. You're gonna be whiny.
Not too close. Don't get that money.
With a life jacket.
That's right.
I tell this area, I'm gonna climb the mast of the yacht and be up there swinging that turn. That makes you wrong. I'll tell you that makes you off, man, and then swing that thing around. You know what I mean? So we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna come together. We're gonna build this nation, man, brick by brick. And we're gonna visit all these zones and get up in them cookouts and get up in them camps and them classes. Because this oppressor, his time is really short right now. Now is not the time to be faint. Now is not the time to lose faith. Now is the time to buckle down. Buckle down. It's downhill from here. Get in, get down or lay down. You know what I mean? With that, I will say shalom to everybody who joined us tonight. You'll a lot of talking on in the comments. You know what I mean? And for sure, tune in Monday with Kamala and GEN.YAHANNA live. You're gonna be on there with heavy hitters, 9 p.m. You all know how it go. Pay your tithes. ISUPK.org. ISUPK.org. Go on there, pay your tithes, man. Don't rob the Lord. And Lord Allah, we'll see you all next time, Saturday night. Lord willing, we'll be right here.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rebel, busy man shit, nigga. They turn their head over, nigga.
I pray where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Circle up and stay alert, another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening, is effective. If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jack the Ripper. War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light work. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. Free shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow side, yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my brain, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.